Hey y'all, welcome back to my channel. In today's video I'm going to be giving y'all my 1 year update of working as an inpatient peds occupational therapist. So if you're interested to see what this last year has been like, keep watching it. Let's jump right into it. Okay, so I'm actually on my way to work right now, and oh my god, I'm gonna crash. People cannot drive here, so yeah. So today is March 30th, 2021. I actually think tomorrow, the 31st, makes the full year, which is like crazy. Like, it does not seem like I've been working there for a whole year. But I just kind of wanted to give y'all like the real tea, because I know a lot of people liked my last video when I talked about my my home health job. So yeah, let me start by saying this. I have a love-hate relationship with my job, honestly. Like, I love my coworkers, most of my coworkers. No, just playing. I love them. Like, I feel like finding a place where there's good coworkers is hard, and for the most part I get along with everyone. Well, I get along with everybody, period. Like, there's obviously some people that I'm closer to than others, but everybody is genuinely like nice. Like, I don't feel like there's like drama, so I like that. And I like that, like, I actually have friends at work, you know, so that's like a big plus. Whereas like when I was doing home health, it's not that I didn't like my coworkers, I did, it's just that I never got to see them because I was doing home health. So yes, love my coworkers, all of them, they're all great. So yeah. Second thing, I like the consistency. Okay, so with inpatient, I'm always gonna have patients. It's not ever a time where like people are like canceling on me or like I can't see anybody. When I say that, I mean like ooh, they just ran the light. Obviously in the hospital there are times where you can't see a patient because they have something going on, or they have to go to the OR, they're just not well, you know. But when I say like it's never a time where I can't see somebody, it's like, okay, I would just move on to the next patient. Whereas like in home health, if that person wasn't available, I had to just like wait around, you know, like that type of thing. Like, there was nothing for me to do because my patient wasn't available. And then on top of that, I love the fact that I get paid hourly. Like I said in my previous video, with home health, you get paid, well, I don't know if this is true of all places, but as far as I know, with most home health places, you're gonna get paid per unit, or like, which means like for how long you see the patient. And I talked about that in my last video, so go back and watch that video, the one where I talked about why I quit my job. That info is in there. So like getting paid hourly is just way better for me personally. Like, I can't stress enough how stressed I was getting paid per unit. Like, it was like I felt like I had to do this and this just to make ends meet, or like just to get the bare minimum of what I was supposed to be getting, you know. And I didn't like that, so that was like one of my main like reasons why I left. But with inpatient, it's hourly. I know what I'm gonna make. As long as I show up, I'm gonna get paid, you know. It's just me. So yeah. And then on top of that, I love the patients. Like, I fall in love with like almost all of my patients. Obviously an inpatient is different than home health because sometimes the kids are not there for a long time for you to really like build a relationship with them. And even when they are there for a while, it's not like you're gonna see them like do these like super big like changes of like you're with this kid for a year or like 2 years doing home health or doing outpatient, like you see the kid over time. Whereas like in the hospital, the changes are more like acute, like something happened and like you're trying to get them back to their baseline, or like sometimes we do have kids who have like chronic conditions. So it's like in those situations, you really don't see a lot of changes because these are things that they have to work on like throughout the years. It's not something that you're going to be able to really make changes, or like, you know what I'm saying, like make changes on in the short amount of time that they might be in the hospital. So that's that. But like I do like build really like I love my patients. Like sometimes the kids are there for a long time. Like we have some patients that are there for like 6 months, some patients that are there for a year. So like you do build relationships with them and you build relationships with their family. So I love that. I love loving on all my little babies and all my big kids. Love that. I do kind of miss like doing certain things. Like I personally, as a therapist, I like more of like developmental play and like teaching, like helping kids catch up on like milestones. Like that's one of the things I really enjoy. And I get to do that somewhat in the acute care, but it's not all of what I do, and it's not all the time, you know? Like I have a lot of like older kids that will come in for like traumas, like they're in a car accident, or they have like a gunshot wound, or they broke a bone, like stuff like that. So it's like I'm not helping them catch up on developmental things. But then I do have other patients that are there for various reasons where I am helping them do that, and that's what I really enjoy. So like if I could just have a whole list of kids of like they need to be caught up on their milestones, like that's what you want to do, that would be perfect. So I do miss that aspect of like doing home health versus being inpatient. And then in inpatient, I'm not gonna lie, y'all, it's hard. Like having kids who come in for different types of traumas, like it's really like very depressing sometimes, because it's like these are children, you know, like not that I would think that an adult deserves that, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like when it's like a child, it's just a little more like, what the fuck, you know? And so it can be really depressing. And then of course you have to deal with like kids dying, like, because that happens. And I knew that going in, but just like when it happens, it's just like, you're like, you shook. Like, so that, I would say, like, if you're thinking about doing inpatient, especially inpatient peds, definitely think about that and like keep that in mind, and like know that you have to be strong because it's hard. And I would say like I'm definitely still working on the strong part, because when stuff happens to like the kids that I see, I'm always like, no. Like one of my patients died that I had for a long time, and I'm still not over it. And that patient died like some months back, so, and I'm still not over it. So yeah, just think about that. And then I will also say it's hard because where I specifically work, staffing is not always the best. Like we don't have enough employees, period. Therapy wise, we don't. Like there are times where the census in our hospital will be low, so it's like, okay, everything is fine, like you don't have to worry about it, you know, we have enough people, you might get to leave early, but that's definitely not the norm, you know? Like normally it's busy, it's really busy, we always have a lot of patients, we always have a lot of kids. And I've also, this past year has just been COVID, so like we've had to deal with that, and that's just another layer of stress, and not having enough people and having to see 10,000 kids in one day. And you feel like if you don't see somebody, you're not, like, you're giving them the short end of the stick, and you don't want to do that. So like that can be really stressful. So I don't know, if you want to do inpatient, I would just just know that like you might be understaffed, or you might have a lot on your plate. And I know for me, when I started, I was technically not a new grad anymore, but I was still pretty new. Like, I had only worked for like 6 months, and I was doing home health, where I was just like thrown into home health and had no idea what I was doing. This was like a whole new ball game. Like, I had to like pretty much relearn everything, and I'm still relearning. Like, honestly, there are days where I just come to work and I'm like, I have no idea what I'm doing, but I'm gonna just make it work, you know? But then that comes to the fact of like, I have really good coworkers who are really good about like trying to be helpful and like show me things or like teach me stuff. But then it's you sometimes, I don't know about everybody else, but sometimes I feel annoying. Like, I feel like, okay, I can't, like, we're all busy, so it's not their responsibility to like help me all the time, you know? I don't know. It's just like it's this weird gray area for me, even though I know they're like super okay with helping me, because I know just that's how they are as people. But still, like, in the back of my mind, I'm like, girl, stop asking. Like, you gotta figure it out, you know? So there's that. And then on top of that, because it's been busy and we don't have as many, oh my God, I'm like on parking level 7 at this point. Like, there's no spots. What the freak? What was I saying? Oh, because it's like so busy all the time, it's like they don't really have the time to like train a new person or like a newer grad, which is why it's so hard for new grads to get hired in settings like this, because there's no time. It's not that they don't want you as a new grad, but they just don't want to have to train you. What in the world? Why is it so crowded today? Y'all, normally I park on like level 4. I'm on level 7, and there's a spot, but like I'm not gonna be able to fit my car right there. Oh, there's some spots over there. It's just, there's just not the time. So it's kind of like you have to learn little by little, and just make it work. Like, that's the best I can say it. Just like, you have to make it work, and that can be stressful. So yeah. Other than that, like, I would say I like it. I don't love it. Do I think I'll stay here for a long time? Probably not. If I'm being honest, probably not. Every day I say I want to quit, like, because I do. I think just for me personally, it's like the high stress of this environment is a lot for me. Like, it's a lot. I personally feel like I would be the best at like an outpatient or like a school, but I've never done that before. So I mean, I kind of did outpatient, but like I've never really had a full outpatient caseload, and I've never really done schools. I did like a school during field work, but it was for like my level 1, so it's for like a month. So I also don't want to like go do that and then be like, oh my God, I hate this. I should have stayed where I was at, you know? So it's that kind of like, girl, just sit down for a little bit. So yeah, we made a whole year, but who's to say I'll be here for another? I don't know. Yeah, but that's pretty much it. I have to go into work. If I think of something else, I'll just add another clip, but for now, that's it. So thanks for watching.